You're listening to 101.1 FM WOPP-IP WDRV-IP WALE-IP Providence. I'm your co-host, Dhruv
And I'm your co-host, Alejandro Jackson.
And this is the Outta Pocket Podcast.
Where we pull conversation topics out of our pocket.
And occasionally, go out of pocket.
Welcome back to the Outta Pocket Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the first episode of Season 3. The color was revealed.
Yeah.
Not through our episode, but you just found out day of. We hope you enjoy it. We hope you're satisfied with it.
They hate it, bro.
Honestly, nobody said anything.
Bro, Alice Walker being pressed the way they hate the color purple.
Hey, yo, bro. But, I don't know. I think we're both personally fans of it. I think it looks nice.
Yeah, I think it looks clean.
It's a clean, it's clean. But anyways, with all that being said, thank you for sticking in with us into Season 3. We're just going to continue. On today's episode, we're diving deep into the Weeknd's discography, a personal favorite artist of ours. I think we can both say he's been on our Spotify and Apple Music.
Nah, invalid. Get that shit out of here.
Look, I changed. I switched over, okay?
I
switched over. But last year, alright.
It's the last year.
It was, yeah. But anyway, moving on. Wrapped, our Spotify and Apple Music wrapped for a few years now.
What they call that on Apple Music, bro? The replay?
The replay.
Get that out of here.
Look,
bro.
man, I'm okay. I switched, alright? Them prices got too high.
Yeah, it's true.
They were running my pockets.
They can't be doing that shit.
I needed that student discount.
That student discount
I was like, that Spotify student discount, which still went up after I signed up. I was like, damn. But it was only it went from $4.99 to $5.99.
Yeah,
so
that's
like,
not the worst.
Yeah, compared to Apple Music's like $10. But anyway, whatever. They run me out.
Yeah, right.
And additionally, stay tuned for a to tier list or not to tier list, which has not been around for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think we did one.
We haven't done a tier list in a hot minute.
In like a year ago.
I know we did the fall tier list. Was that the last one?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh dang. Oh dang.
I'm pretty sure.
But yeah.
So yeah, with that being said,
we hope the weekend is with you this weekend. Let's get right into it. I just want to like kick off the discussion by like, I want to ask like, when did you start listening? Because I feel like I definitely. I only started in sophomore year of high school, so I know a lot of OG XO fans have been around since, Trilogy and Kissland, and a lot came with After Hours. A lot of people started listening with After Hours. I was kind of like in between that, where like it wasn't like right when Starboy dropped. It had been like a good year or two after Starboy, but I don't know. I just like just got Spotify, and I'm like, I wonder what I should listen to.
Yeah.
And the Weeknd came up. I'm like, you know what? I'll just like shuffle play through this guy's music. And then the songs that I thought were hype, I added to my workout playlist.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why this dude's been on the top since like day one. Is that workout playlist? I swear. But
which we've talked about in like previous episodes. You've talked specifically our like our Spotify Wrapped or like episode. I know you mentioned how much
it
of a
skews.
skewing.
It's definitely a skewing effect, but I mean you can't really control it. I wish there was a way for like Spotify to like distribute the weight among plays to give like a more holistic view, but I'm not complaining because the Weeknd is good.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I definitely started in with Starboy, and got back in with After Hours, and have kind of been hooked ever since. So I'm definitely more of a newer fan, but from what I understand, you've been listening for a while.
For a bit, I think concretely was probably start of 2017. Always remember like I always could recognize songs. Like I knew like I remember being on a trip in Colorado in like 2015, and like on the radio like Beauty Behind the Madness was always playing. thing.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, and so those were definitely recognizable. Earned it because of 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
The movie, which we'll talk about the song later.
Yeah, I know like the songs I was hearing around that time were In the Night,
Mm-hmm.
Can't Feel My Face, and there was one more big song off that album that was more poppy. Cause
Often's on that album.
Often's on that album, but I feel like I wasn't hearing that because it was a little less like accessible.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I think like I'm trying to remember.
The Hills.
It might have been The Hills,
Mhm.
but yeah, no, that was a big album for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, I was just thinking, because that's like when he was in his like palm tree hair era.
Yeah,
And everybody was like,
they made fun. I remember specifically they made fun of him on SNL, bro.
Yeah.
There's like that one episode, and Kenan Thompson was like, "Man, you end up with hair like The Weeknd." I'm like, "It's funny," but yeah, then he shaved that shit.
yeah. But yeah, so I've been listening since like 2017. I think definitely around the time like February, because Starboy came out 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and I think around the time that his name was being thrown around for the 2017 Grammys,
Mm-hmm.
I started listening, and then just from like beginning of 2017, like throughout the rest of the year, I was listening to The Weeknd heavy. And you know, I mentioned him on the show before. I mentioned him last week. My best friend Marlo from back home is like a big fan as well. So that's something that we spend a lot of time like kind of bonding over, and like just on Xbox parties, just like listening to The Weeknd.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the reason why like The Weeknd has been such a big presence in my life is because like we've like just spent so many hours listening to it like on random nights, or like to like his playlists or his albums. I don't know why I said that, but so I think for me, yeah, that was like 2017 was definitely the start. And like, I guess, quick transition. I think one of the things like that, or another reason why The Weeknd's such a big staple for me is because like the two concerts I've been to, that's not true. I've been to more concerts. Some of them, well, if you want to count Spring Weekend as concerts.
Sure, but like stadium.
Yeah. But I've also, like, whatever, right? It was like, the first one was The Weeknd. The second one was The Weeknd. I feel like, it, I feel like it takes a lot for me to want to go see an artist in person. So like The Weeknd,
for sure,
a big one for me. I may or may not be wearing merch right now.
It's true.
But anyway,
I mean, I'd say it takes a lot for me to want to see an artist in person.
Mm-hmm.
If tickets to go see that artist cost like $80 or something. You know, if it's a smaller indie artist, tickets are usually like, you know, $30.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's a lot more like affordable. But yeah, no, it's like when the tour got announced, I'm like, I have to go.
So I went in 2017 actually to the fall tour, like the Starboy tour.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what the name of it was. It was
I think it was the Starboy tour, right?
yeah, but there was like a something, like it was like something.
Right.
There was like more, because he also toured that spring, I think, and it had like a different name. But I went in 2017, and then in 2022, because man didn't drop an album for 4 years, and then COVID, obviously. And so
He dropped it right before COVID. That was crazy.
he dropped it March 20th, 2020.
Yeah.
Bro, I was home. We were.
I remember he dropped Blinding Lights as a lead single
Yeah, in November.
in November. So I remember being on the bus and getting this notification on Spotify that The Weeknd just dropped a new song, and I listened to it. I liked it. I'm like, this is a very
80s
old sound, but new sound for The Weeknd.
Mm-hmm.
So I was. We'll talk more about that stuff later on in the episode, but yeah, I don't know. And then I feel like After Hours as an album came to define like that first year of the pandemic for me.
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, really quick, as you touched upon it. So I just wanted to kind of dive into like the concert experience. For me, I'll like kind of talk about it not lightly, but like I don't know. I feel like two things. One, I was 13. The 2017 concert for me was obviously really great.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just like I don't know. There was a lot of things that would stick with anybody who's like 13 at the time. Like he came up out of the floor.
Yeah,
and
no,
I was
that's
like,
sick.
"Aw."
Yeah. That's awesome.
But it was it was just it was fun hearing.
Bro ain't got nothing on the Eras tour, bro.
Yeah. So it was just like it was no, it was just things like that. But I think the 2022 tour was definitely.
I feel like it's much more rewarding having been in the trenches with an artist.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I feel like for Spring Weekend I can have a good time listening to new artists who I don't normally listen to, and like really enjoying the live music experience. But it hits different when you know like every song on a set list.
Yeah,
That's just
sure. And so like for me the 2022 tour was like it was just
Bro
like
still got the T-shirt.
I
He's
know.
wearing it right now.
It was another 5 years of like listening to The Weeknd between that concert and the last one. Marlo and I went together, and we like made a whole day out of it. So like we like concert wasn't until like
7 at night.
Yeah, but we like we like met up at like 1.
Mm.
We like got food. We were like whatever. It was like a bit of a drive to like the stadium. But it was just such a rewarding experience, kind of like you said, and just very like just like it was like a true kind of, what's the best way to phrase this? I think the way I like think of it is if you were able to capture a moment of time and keep it in a bottle, like I feel like that's the way like my brain. It's like very like.
It's a flashbulb memory.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that that kind of it's something that serves as a very like watershed moment for like I guess it's like part of my like the way like I see a specific like time in my life. And so it was very cool to be able to go. And it just felt like kind of a good payoff to like so many years of listening to like the Weekends through like all of high school, because I went to the 2017 concert freshman year of like high school, and this last concert was like right after our freshman year in college. So it's like that's a long time and so much has happened, and but how about you? How was your experience?
So I actually went pretty much like a week after you did, because he came up from Miami to Atlanta. And so I went to go see the same tour. It was a similar thing. Like I couldn't, like I didn't really make a day out of it, but I went with my sister and 2 of our friends, and man, it was just such a good time. I can't really think of anything else to describe it, but I was just like standing on my feet, like singing, like screaming along, dancing, and I think there's nothing else to it, but he put on a high production value, he's a very entertaining performer too. He's charismatic. He's got the dance moves. People keep saying like, oh, The Weeknd can't dance like MJ, but like, okay, no one can dance like MJ, but like The Weeknd can dance. So it's like, it was also fun seeing a lot of the songs being from Dawn FM, which was like the most recent album from like right before.
Yeah.
And one that I've been listening to pretty much nonstop during when it dropped in January to when I went to go see the tour in August. So, yeah, it was a good time. I will say though, so the Weeknd's continued touring throughout the last year. He went to Europe.
Yeah.
European leg just finished. He's about to go to Latin America, I think. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the set list is better in Europe. I'm not even fronting from the TikToks that I've been seeing. Bro played the morning in like Manchester. But yeah, it's like
So I was actually in London when he was there.
Yeah.
And it was a consideration. I was this close to going, and the tickets were sold out.
That's crazy.
But I almost spun the block. I almost caught this man in a different continent, bro. I was like,
and bro like pulled up in a do-rag and everything. Man looked like the Hood Angel, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's a great performer. I kind of like going after the concert experience, which we both I think unilaterally think like I think like any artist who can sell out a stadium like the Weeknd, and like lest we forget those transitions were fire.
Yeah.
Like this man planned out the most fire Hurricane to the Hills is I still think about that.
Shout out to Mike Dean. Mike Dean, we've mentioned him on the podcast before when we I think in our summer recap episode of last season. You mentioned man was fully taking advantage of the more loose social, I guess.
He was smoking a doobie on stage.
Like,
bro was going crazy.
You had mentioned that, despite the fact that Georgia, Atlanta, he pushed the envelope a little bit. Right. Same thing in Miami. Man was up there,
going
in his element. But I do recognize, like, I mean, obviously I am not a producer, and I do not. I know somewhat like of what goes into like producing like an album or whatever. But I think for Mike Dean to take so many pieces of like the Weeknd's discography and be able to
string them together.
Yeah. I mean, like you were saying, some of these transitions, and to me, like, I mean, particularly for me, because like I play guitar, like the Die For You guitar.
Yeah.
Like, I've been looking for like like the notes or like just the tabs, like can't find them. The intro to Hurricane is really good, and there was one more. I forgot where
the drums also go nuts. Like I've been seeing a lot of the drummers, like he has like a GoPro behind the scenes, and like I've been seeing a lot of those TikToks. Like that dude's talented. It's just like it's been so fun. I think undeniably that was, it was just cool. I don't think I'm like there's very few artists who I'm ever gonna experience with that. Again. But I also, before we get into the weeds a little more, I also wanted to talk a little bit about how the Weeknd is perceived.
Okay.
Because I feel like he's very popular, undeniably. Like widely listened to. But it's funny though. It's like when you say like my favorite artist is the Weeknd, a lot of people think you're toxic. It's just the it's just the way. But it's like kind of part of the perception, and I think undeniably there's no denying that like some of his music contains like misogynistic and like frankly toxic themes. And we're gonna get into this when we start like going album by album, and we should probably get into that because we're running out of time. We're out of time, someone might say. But even as far back as Beauty Behind the Madness, it was like a song as toxic as Often, sampled from, and we might have mentioned this on the show before, I don't quite remember, but it's sampled from like this Turkish song, like that beginning vocal sample, and it translates into something like, you know, it's like each day keeps like going on and on. I can't keep doing this. And when you look at the song with that in mind, it kind of takes on an entirely new meaning.
Yeah, for sure.
And so yeah, I think like The Weeknd has always been a very very conscious of that image, and understanding that he grew up in just terrible conditions. I mean, like he mentions it in his music. He was homeless for a period of time.
Yeah.
You know, he's to go from that to swimming with the sharks for 7 years. That's enough to make a man heartless, some might say. But yeah, I wouldn't put him on the same level of just like social thought or even just personal reflection as artists like Kendrick Lamar and Denzel Curry. But there's no denying that that element is there.
I can agree with that. For sure. And kind of transitioning into a bit of a similar is like his reach, right? So, you know, you mentioned before, you know, he just finished his European leg of the tour, and is going to like Latin America and Australia, I think next, like Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
And like, you know, we like to have our episodes be a little, somewhat, you know, so we like to incorporate a mix of like our voices, but also just the facts. And I kind of want to navigate the conversation about like his perception and whatever, and a comment you made about like him and MJ earlier.
Yeah.
Into like, you know, where we're going next, right?
I mean, like from a very objective lens, his sound is completely influenced by Michael Jackson.
Sure.
From his vocal tone to the production on Beauty Behind the Madness, to his connection with Quincy Jones, you know. And I want to like let you finish that thought, but
sure.
I hear a lot of people saying that Taylor Swift is MJ famous. That's cap. That's cap, and you know it's cap. No one's MJ famous, but The Weeknd isn't MJ famous either. But that dude's honestly, I think, getting pretty close. Like in terms of his perception, it's hard not to draw parallels between The Weeknd and Michael Jackson.
So that's the conversation, right? So, two little things from Google, the most reliable source ever. You know, The Weeknd has 4 Grammy Awards, 20 Billboard Music Awards, 22 Juno Awards. I have no idea what that is. 6 American Music Awards, 2 MTV Video Music Awards, a Latin Grammy Award, and nominations for an Academy Award and a Primetime Emmy Award.
Bro, that Primetime Emmy better not be for the Idol, bro.
We don't talk about that. Collectively, as Weeknd fans,
that shit was garbage.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No, we'll talk about that at the end, actually. I do want to get into at the very end. But
and in addition, right, The Weeknd is the first star to achieve 100 million monthly listeners on Spotify. According to this quote, 50% of that market share is in the UK and 30% worldwide. Which, to put that in perspective, the Beatles have 27 million monthly listeners, Madonna has 23, and Michael Jackson has 34.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the comparison to MJ there.
Yeah, I mean,
don't think
like,
that is like a one.
I think, like, sure, it's not 1-to-1 because there are factors, as in, like, a lot of the people, like, I listen to practically all of those artists, I'd say fairly regularly, but there's no denying that the people who would listen to those artists in their rotation, like we listen to the Weeknd, probably don't have Spotify. You know, they probably have the actual CDs for that music.
Exactly, which is what I meant by like. It's like, okay.
But he does remain top dog as the most listened to male artist on Spotify, and he has been for a while, I think. He beat out Ed Sheeran or something.
Yeah, it feels like it. I feel like it's very often on Instagram that I see some like posts from the rap account, being like, you know, The Weeknd achieved like this many or like monthly listeners, or like is like the first artist to have like, you know, this many songs, receives this many listens on the platform, like, right? So, So like it kind of just goes to show the reach that his music is having, and kind of why those like MJ comparisons are being made. Like you said, I don't necessarily think he has the same influence. I mean, like,
no one will,
yeah,
man.
bro's not making songs like Black and White, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Is it Black and White or Black or White? Don't matter.
Black or White.
Black or White. Like, man's not making music like that. Like, so, I don't know. There's just, like, there's some things that, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
No, and, like, MJ's career was so prolific, it's almost futile to compare anyone to MJ.
Yeah.
Because bro was making music since he was, like, 5 or something.
Uh-huh.
Like, but, like, even so, The Weeknd was... Like, I went back to Beauty Behind the Madness. Actually, you could take it back to Trilogy, because Dee on Trilogy is just a cover of Dirty Diana, which is, I think, one of Michael Jackson's most unique songs, because it's so much darker and grittier than practically anything Michael Jackson made.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, like, he's up there. I think The Weeknd is up there.
For sure. For sure.
And with that out of the way, we're finally going to get into the heart, the meat of this discussion with the discography tour. I mean, we've talked about albums a lot on the show, and we've talked about Weeknd albums a lot on the show, but we've never had a dedicated space where we just talked about the Weeknd's album. So, in chronological order, with like ignoring... EPs, singles, side releases. The Weeknd's discography in like main albums goes as follows: Trilogy, Kissland, Beauty Behind the Madness, Starboy,
My Dear Melancholy.
My Dear Melancholy, which is like, I always view it as more of an EP, but it's still, I guess, technically an album. After Hours, Dawn FM, and probably Something on the Horizon that we haven't found out yet. But aside from that, he's been collabing with artists forever. Notable features have been Crew Love.
Yeah, Nav. He's collabed with Nav. I'm pretty sure he made an appearance in the music video for XO Tour Life with like Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Yeah, I'm
trying to remember like some of his earlier features, because I think he also recently announced that he's not doing features anymore.
Which some speculate that it is under the name The Weeknd.
I
necessarily.
see.
But I'm not gonna lie. His last features with Diddy on Diddy's album.
Were they good or bad?
What?
I
haven't heard. That album's not out. I just mean like, damn, bro. Like, no, it's. I mean, it doesn't. Never mind. No, I know that a lot of people voiced that he probably should have collabed with somebody else's like last like bang.
I mean, is Diddy though? I mean, bro's been around since the 90s.
I need Drake and Abel to patch this.
Sure. Patch their shit up, man. Nah. It's been too long, but what?
Well, this was like kind of bleeding over into potentially next week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that there has recently been an AI generated song with Abel and Aubrey, which which is like, I guess, as close as we're gonna get.
Yeah, as close as we're ever gonna get. But I mean, the biggest ones in recent memory: Hurricane, Pray for Me, like with Kendrick Lamar on the Black Panther soundtrack, and Creepin' on the Metro Boomin album, which blew up more than any other song in that album.
Yeah,
so
and he was also on Utopia twice. On Circus Maximus, which is a song that has grown on me a bit. I like some of the kind of unique production aspects to it, like the kind of the heavy breathing in the back, and and he's also on K-pop, which is from my understanding, a song that our friend Adrian is quite a fan of. I think it's
Yeah. I mean, you got Bad Bunny though.
So that's the thing. My whole thing is like, it's definitely like Travis being like, damn, let me get some big names on one track and just see how hard it rips, bro. But like, from it's definitely not the best song in that album. It's probably like it's low-key, like I'd be skipping it a few times.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, we're getting sidetracked once again. So, how do you want to format this discussion? Are we just going one by one, or are we like trying to tier list? What's the idea here?
Okay, so we're gonna tier list songs from Trilogy all the way through Dawn FM. A few things of note. One, obviously, we probably do want to talk about some songs in particular, our thoughts, etc., etc. So we'll try to, do our best to cover as much as we can / want, keeping time in mind. The other thing is, I think we can both sit here and say, his older stuff, I have listened to like all of his stuff.
Yeah.
Some I've listened to definitely more than others. And I'm also, admittedly, and this is like, if you know me in real life and you have had this experience with me before, I'm terrible with song names. And you can ask me if I know a song, and I will sit there and be like, I can't tell you. Because I like will know a song, and I will hear it and be like, oh yeah, I do know that song.
Yeah.
But like, if you give me a name, like I can't work off that. Like I'd have to listen to the song like a decent number of times for me to like know like, oh yeah, that's what this song is.
Yeah. Similarly, I too have probably at some point listened to the entire discography. That being said, my actual familiarity, especially with Trilogy and Kissland, is really spotty. But that being said, let's get into Trilogy. When we're tier listing songs, do you want to only do the ones that we know for sure?
So this is how we're gonna do it. So, two things. One, this is a little bit different from our past tier list videos, because our past tier list videos have been, we like will like make a tier from like, what is it, like D or F to like S, and then we'll kind of quick fire like things, right, and we'll go. This is like a tier list that somebody has like kind of compiled all like the songs, and so the categories go as follows. Go, really good, good, solid, mid, sleep, like a bunch of Z's, and the last one was garbage. I've actually changed the last one to be IDR for I don't remember, because I feel
half
like there
these
will
songs
be,
we do not remember.
I mean, no, I feel like I feel like we'll know more than half. But
Okay.
there's like a good chunk that we're probably gonna be like, I don't remember. So, bear with us.
With that in mind,
And for the ones who are die hard Weeknd fans, top
we apologize, bro. We
0.01,
apologize.
Please.
Go man, that's
So we will we'll do our best, but let's get started. I'll just kind of go in
yeah,
order.
we gotta go fast.
Okay, first of all, there's one here, Devil May Cry. I don't remember
Virgil?
this song too well. I think I listened to it once, and from what I remember, it should be putting me to sleep, so we're putting that.
That's all you, bro. That's all you.
Drunken Love Remix, that's a Beyonce song.
I don't remember.
It's pretty, like, I'm gonna put it in solid.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you're not beating Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce, like, we could do a whole other episode about Beyonce. Like, Beyonce the GOAT, bro.
Yeah. Next song, 28. 28 is one that I actually have listened to quite a bit. I like it.
Okay.
The entire premise of the song being, he's seeing this girl,
and she's 28.
No, and she's like, and basically, they're hooking up, and she went and told all her friends, and he's like, I gotta change my number.
Dang.
Like this house is not a home to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I'm putting it. I would put in really good. I don't know if
I don't remember it, so yeah, that's all you.
Okay. But yeah, let's kind of. I'll kind of jump around.
In general, I want to preface that Trilogy was initially released as 3 separate mixtapes.
Yeah.
So
It's House of Balloons, Echoes of Silence, and like Thursday.
So
DD, where you want to put that?
So DD, I'll just put as good or really good because, I mean, it is a Michael Jackson song. It's not like a Weeknd song, but I mean, the stuff that he adds to it with his own vocal, like, and like it's clear that his passion for MJ comes across. So yeah, it's a good song.
I'll put it at the top of good for now. And we'll kind of...
He also recently did it, I think, on tour in Europe. When he said like, "Hey, Michael's the GOAT. I want to do a tribute," and so he did "Dirty Diane" again. But yeah, I also want to say Trilogy is generally, I feel like, among the more like toxic of the albums, where like Bro is just popping out and going hard. I mean, like, honestly, props to it. I feel like the self-reflection aspect of his music doesn't really kick in until Kissland.
Yeah, so we can hopefully spare time to talk about that at the end of the episode.
But yeah, like, also, Trilogy is huge because it's actually just 3 mixtapes in one. So, yeah, we should probably just go fast through it.
So, The
Morning, like, banger. I like one of my favorite Weeknd songs, so really good.
Okay.
I wouldn't say GOAT status, but really good.
Okay.
Wicked Games is also a banger. Probably, I think, like, less dear to me than The Morning, so I'd say, like...
Okay, I can agree with that. So, I'll put it under 28.
Okay.
Let's see what else. Lonely Star. I don't remember. We're putting that. I remember. High for This. Well, actually, I'll do Heaven or Las Vegas. Heaven or Las Vegas. I think it's...
What's the song called?
Heaven or Las Vegas. From what I remember, I vaguely remember it. I don't love it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember it at all. But
I will put it...
That raises another interesting point, because that theme comes back way later in his discography. Bro just hates LA and and loves Las Vegas.
Yeah. There's actually a song on the trilogy, Till Dawn.
Yeah.
The Fall. That's not King of Fall.
King of Fall is garbage. It's like, it's an actively bad song.
So there's only like one part I like in that song.
Yeah.
So I can agree. I will put it in mid.
Okay. Yeah. I could agree with that.
I think I liked it for a long time, and then as I got older, I realized it's not that great. High for This. I don't really remember.
It is one of the more popular ones off the trilogy.
And the Birds Part 1 and 2, I don't really remember.
Yeah.
So, The Zone featuring Drake. I do never remember that song. I think
back when the Toronto boys were...
Yeah.
Wait,
hold on. Let me make sure.
That's all you, Big G.
I know that there's... Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm just looking through. Yeah, okay. I do remember that one. I think... Oh, no. Okay, I'm thinking of... Alright, never mind. I'm thinking of a different song. I have heard The Zone, though. I'll put it in solid.
Okay.
The one I was thinking of was Live For, which is on Kissland. Which the 10-year anniversary of Kissland was actually.
Pretty recently.
Last Sunday. That merch is expensive. I'm not gonna lie, that merch is hella clean, but like...
It looks great, but like, come on, bro.
There's a varsity jacket for $1,400, bro.
He can't keep getting away with this.
Bro. And there's a t-shirt with the same design that's on that varsity jacket for $45.
As far as merch t-shirts go, you can do worse.
Yeah.
You could always be buying Taylor Swift merch, bro. That shit's too expensive.
That's crazy. House of Balloons, Glass Table Girls, in my opinion, really good, potentially go. But
okay. Let's say really good for now, because I don't really know that one. Also, can we collectively agree that we don't remember the rest of Trilogy so we can move on to Kissland? Because, like, yeah, I really don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's keep moving on.
What other songs are there? Echoes of
Life
Silence.
of the party and the after party, Coming Down, Loft Music, Thursday, Gone, Rolling Stone, Valerie, Montreal, Outside, EXO/The Host, Initiation, Same Old Song, The Fall. Next, Echoes of Silence, What You Need, and Till Dawn.
Yeah, I ain't got it.
Which, and The Knowing, which as we mentioned before, are all songs that we've heard. I'm not gonna lie, I cannot recall the song right now. Kissland. Alright.
Kissland, the titular song off the album, I think the last song on the album, by far the best song on the album.
Yeah.
For me, really good or goat. I think
Go.
I think you think it's goat too. Okay, yeah. I think the beat switch just goes nuts. Yeah. There's not much more to say about that one, but it does have that element of self-reflection. Not like as deep as he gets later, but clearly I just bought a brand new home. Think I've seen it twice in the last year, so you could picture how my life's been. This ain't nothing to relate to. Fundamentally, The Weeknd, in that song in particular, acknowledges that his life is nothing to relate to. It's filled with vice and sin, and people listening to his music trying to be like, yeah, like I'm that dude, like. No, Weeknd's like, no, like you're not, like
you're not that guy.
Fundamentally, you're not that guy. I'm him, and it's like there's an element of arrogance that he earned by being a very successful artist. I can actually, I remember one of my really close friends from way back in the day. His name's Jonah. In 7th grade, we were sitting in the computer lab. He was like, bro, I've been listening to this guy. This guy's named The Weeknd. And he showed me Kissland, and I'm like, cool. Never realized that it was gonna come back years later, and become a lot more relevant in my life. But yeah, that like he didn't blow up, mainstream yet, but he definitely got big in certain circles because he was doing something new and exciting in like this sort of R&B space, but far darker and like grittier and toxic than a lot of the rap and R&B of that era. Yeah. And he overlaid it all with Michael Jackson quality vocals. Rather than simply rapping, he set himself above the pack. But yeah.
Let's see. Tears in the Rain.
I kind of remember it. I remember liking it. So
it's like a
solid
long song.
Yeah.
I think, at least for me, okay, I'll put it in good. I think for me, it's really good. So we can meet in the middle. It is long and it does feel kind of repetitive, but I'm not gonna lie, it's a pain song and it hits sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's see, Belong to the World. It's alright, it's solid.
Okay.
It's like the one where it's like you belong to the world.
Wanderlust is, I remember, pretty solid.
We go in good.
Mm-hmm.
Live For by Drake is solid in my opinion. It's like this shit that I live for. This people I die for.
What's the?
So we have Pretty, Adaptation.
Oh, The Professional. Professional is good.
Professional is good.
Yeah.
I can put that up.
Probably in good, I think.
Let's see. The Town.
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head. Adaptation. I would put Adaptation. I'll put it in good.
Okay.
It's been hitting lately.
Alright.
Love in the Sky. Don't really remember.
Yeah, neither do I.
Pretty. Pretty's good. I like Pretty. An Odd Look remix. That one I remember being solid.
Okay. All right.
Beauty Behind the Madness.
Beauty Behind the Madness.
Hot take. My least favorite Weeknd project.
That is a hot take. I don't disagree with it, but
Okay,
it is a hot take.
Yeah, no, it's probably. Okay. I like a lot of his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I don't like it. But, like. Well. I will say, I feel like listening to Live at the SoFi has changed some songs for me. Okay. Hot take. We'll just jump into it. Earned It, I don't like. Earned It, I think it's pretty overplayed.
Yeah,
and I think it's mid.
Mid.
In the Night.
I like it. It's a good song to run to.
Yes, is good. I'll put it at the top.
Yeah.
Can't Feel My Face.
Overplayed.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's
but
solid.
overplayed. It's solid.
I will
it's
put
solid.
it in solid.
It's certainly the song that got the most play off that album.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was so poppy and Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones type beat that it made the sound way more accessible. Even though he was talking about doing cocaine with girls in the bathroom, he won the Knicks Kid Choice Award for it, which he talks about in his next album. But we'll get there.
Often, go.
Oh yeah, like low-key, I was listening to Often on the way over here, bro.
Often is go.
I listen to Often when I want to feel like I'm him, bro. When I have those moments where I'm like, I'm him. That's
The Hills,
Often.
really. The Hills.
Hills is really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Hills Are Eyes. The Hills Have Eyes. Who Are You to Judge? Like, once again, that element of self-reflectiveness. I'm also like slowly weaving in this narrative that even from the beginning, The Weeknd isn't as toxic as he seems.
Yeah.
Because I think that is something I want to get across with this episode. Like, he's a complicated person, and he's not necessarily a good one by my values, but undeniably makes goated music. And yeah, I think like it's, I don't know, it's just a personal thing of mine where like, I think separation of artist from the art is important. Obviously, there's some cases where it just can't. Like I don't be listening to R. Kelly like that. I'm sorry. Like come on. But for The Weeknd, I think it's a little different. Because if you wanted to take every bad thing a rapper has said, you can't listen to rap anymore. Like you just can't listen to the genre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it's more of a culture thing, and we can maybe talk about it in like a season 4 episode. But yeah. But
Angel.
yeah.
Not my favorite.
Fair enough.
Acquainted. Is.
I don't really remember it off the top of my head, so that's all you.
I'll say solid.
Okay.
Higher end solid. Yeah.
Tell Your Friends.
Uh,
I think really good. I think it's like when you're just walking and it's like cold outside, and you just put your hands in your pocket.
I don't know if I
and
feel like
walk
it's
down
better
the
than
street.
In the Night.
Ooh.
And In the Night is currently top of good.
Okay. I want to hear your reasoning.
I don't know, just In the Night,
It does hit.
Feel.
It does hit. Yeah. I think like I would agree. I think I do like In the Night. Or I'll phrase it like this. I can listen like when I'm in the mood for, cause like you're not always gonna be in the mood for The Weeknd, but when I'm in the mood, like I'm more often in the mood to listen to In the Night than Tell Your Friends, if that makes sense. Because I think Tell Your Friends has like a very specific vibe in my mind, and But in its defense, I think the production and yeah, I just think like the rock guitar and whatever sets that one apart in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, moving on.
Okay. The rest of these I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean neither do I.
Okay. Real life,
It's
loser,
tough.
shameless, as you are, dark times, prisoner. Prisoner, I vaguely remember, but anyway, we're still running short on time. So and
Yeah.
Starboy, where are you putting it?
Okay. That song has a special place in my heart. That's just I think that was like the first Weeknd song I listened to.
Okay.
So I'm always gonna say that Starboy is like really good.
Okay.
Or good. Whichever one you're thinking.
I would put it
At the bottom of really good.
maybe not the bottom.
I'm trying to put you in the worst mood.
I'll put it below the hills.
And
I'll shift House of Balloons now. Party Monster. I'm not the biggest fan.
I'm not a biggest fan.
It's
I
solid.
will say it hits in the gym, but that is the only context in which it hits for me.
It is solid.
It is solid.
I'll put it top solid. False Alarm. I
Mid.
don't like.
Yeah.
I think False Alarm.
Mid.
I
Asleep.
I'm low key.
Yeah,
False
yeah.
Alarm did when we asleep.
I will say about Party Monster though. Once again, self-reflection. He's acknowledging, and this is where the Weeknd's discography really started to shine.
For sure.
Because he started incorporating these characters.
Mm-hmm.
He embodied the Starboy in almost like a performance art type of like vibe. Like he would do performances as the Starboy,
Yeah.
shave his hair, like wore the chain with the cross, like. I mean, I think the Starboy look is so clean, by the way. Like
In the music video, he straight up kills his old self.
Yeah.
So.
And so, but like he's also in this album, not quite at the level of self-reflection of After Hours, which I think is like, After Hours and Dawn FM pinnacle. But like Starboy, he's still like, you're paranoid. Like, got up, thank the Lord for the day, woke up by a girl, I don't even know her name. Something about like had to check the dresser for my. Had to check the dresser for my wallet and my chain or something. But yeah, it's like this level of acknowledging that like he's not gonna change, but he knows that he fundamentally doesn't trust women and he can't quite figure out why, and so he uses them in a very vindictive way.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on though, because we gotta keep this conversation rolling.
Reminder, go.
Banger, yeah, no, a reminder,
Go.
unequivocally goated.
No.
Recommend play my song. And this is the song that I mentioned earlier in which he's like, I just won a new award on a kid show. But yeah, it's like
Talking about a face and numbing off a bag of blood.
he's saying like, I know everyone kind of loves me and respects me and I'm famous now, which is weird, but I still run with a mob, and if you can't accept that, then don't be a fan of The Weeknd. Which is honestly based.
I feel like the next three, Rockin', Secrets, and True Colors, all kind of fall in a similar place for me. They're all solid.
They're all solid.
They're all
Yeah,
solid.
I agree. We can just be rocking. Yeah.
Stargirl Interlude. As I've gotten older, has kind of hit more for
Okay,
me.
yeah. Move that shit up.
I will put it in solid, higher up. I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather listen to it than Party Monster. Actually, do I mean that? No, I don't mean that.
What?
I don't mean that.
You don't mean what?
That I would rather listen to it than Party Monster.
Okay, fair.
I will put it. Above Can't Feel My Face.
There's one more song. I'm trying to remember.
Love to Lay, maybe.
No, it's Lonely Night. I think Lonely Night is one of the best songs on
Me too.
on Starboy. So
I
I'd
think
put
it's
it in
really good.
really good.
Nothing Without You is good.
Mm-hmm.
All I Know featuring Future.
Yeah, I also
listen to that song because I think it's kind of funny. Future's verse, he sounds a bit, yeah.
I mean, Future is always funny. Like, I'm always gonna listen to Future not for the lyrics, but just for the vibes.
I'll
You know.
put it in solid. I Feel It Coming featuring
Oh
Daft
yeah,
Punk.
I feel like coming. I think is really good, if not GOAT. I think Daft Punk, like the 2 Daft Punk songs on that album, just like production level is just so insanely good.
I think it's good, so we can meet in the middle. Really good.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll put it higher end of really good. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
sounds good to me.
Sidewalks featuring Kendrick Lamar.
You know, it's weird. Those are probably my 2 most listened to artists. I have no recollection of that song. Like,
It's he's like Sidewalk Saved My Life, and
yeah.
Kendrick's like, I forgot. I used to know Kendrick. I probably still know Kendrick's work if I listen to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember though.
But I feel like it doesn't. The song didn't have longevity for me.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I'll put it in solid because I think that the message he conveys is better represented in Snow Child.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Snow Child. Yeah, Snow Child's good shit.
6 Feet Under.
Everything else, I do not.
Ordinary Life is really good,
Okay,
in my opinion.
yeah.
It's the one where he's like, heaven in her mouth got a hell of a tongue.
Yeah.
I can feel her teeth when I drop on the bump. I'm not gonna finish the rest of those lyrics.
You're already getting into some pretty dangerous territory there. But yeah, the rest of Starboy, I don't remember.
I'm putting it top good.
Mm-hmm.
If not bottom, really good. Okay. I'll put it bottom, really good. Die For You.
Overplayed.
Interesting.
Good song, but overplayed.
Okay, again.
Like, come on. Like, I feel like every time I walk into Joe's, I hear Die For You. I don't know why. It's just like, it's a good song, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Love to Lay in Attention.
Mhm.
Solid.
Yeah. You could finish up the rest of Starboy. I just
Yeah.
want to make a quick point
6 Feet
on
Under.
Die For You. I feel like the Ariana Grande collabs that he does has given a lot of the Starboy songs renewed longevity.
Sure.
Because Die For You was good, and then the Ariana Grande remix released, and then it got way bigger
Mhm.
very recently,
Mhm.
which is weird, but you know, it's cool to see a song still have that longevity.
Mhm.
But yeah, finally, which is it's crazy that we're almost at time because like I could talk more about After Hours and Dawn FM than every other conversation so far combined. But you know, in the interest of keeping things rolling, we have to get through My Dear Melancholy. The lore is, I think, from what I recall, he
Selena
wrote.
broke his heart.
Yeah, was it Selena or Bella Hadid?
It's Selena.
Okay, either way,
'Cause
yeah.
he's like almost, I like almost cut a piece of myself
Mhm.
because she has lupus.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. But either way,
she needed
I've heard that he
transplant.
recorded the whole thing pretty much in just like a week.
Yeah, man was going through.
Yeah,
it.
man.
Call Out My Name, go.
Call on my name's a goat song.
Try Me, Wasted Time. These are all.
These are all hurt songs. Like these, there's no element of self-reflection. There's just like.
I was never there.
Yeah, it's good.
These are all in either good or really good. Wasted Times is good. Wasted Times.
Yeah. It's like
Try Me
it's
is solid actually.
they're all solid and above. Like there's no song on the album that I think is just like mid. At the same time, it's hard to get in the mental space to listen to My Dear Melancholy because that's just for when you're going through it. There's no other words, no other two ways about it.
Okay. So I put Call Out My Name and Go. I was never there and really good.
Mm-hmm.
Privilege and Wasted Times and good.
Mm-hmm.
Try Me and Hurt You and solid.
I agree with that assessment.
Alone Again, go.
Okay, yeah. So
Alone
finally,
Again.
we're at After Hours.
Yeah.
We already mentioned a decent amount of the lore, but like, from a musical standpoint, he moved completely away from like darker R&B and just straight up hit synthwave in the most glorious way imaginable. Like this album, I cannot express. I think is probably one of the greatest albums of all time, and that is a high bar to clear, because Stevie Wonder exists. But I like on just like a musical front, he just brought it with this album, and it hit even harder because he was just out of action for so long. I think the word that comes to my mind when I think of this album is regret. It's just all the themes from earlier albums, and it starts getting dissected in a way in which it's just a regretful album, and you can listen to it when you're hyped, and you can listen to it when you're going through it. And, themes of, like, religion and... Yeah, I mean, let's just get into it.
Too Late, solid.
Yeah.
Scared to Live Again, or Scared to Live?
Well, there's one before Scared to Live.
Hardest to Love.
Hardest to Love is really good,
I think so.
And the other thing, he also took the performance art to the next level with this one. There's you could dissect the lore of the music videos, you could dissect like the performances he did. There's that big publicity stunt with the like scars and the bandages and the plastic surgery. I don't know. I could keep going, but let's also roll through.
We had one Stray. It's like the Trust Issues remix. I put that in solid because
fair enough.
I didn't remember, but anyway.
What's the next one?
Scared to Live.
Really good. Like the vocal range and just quality of the vocals on Scared to Live is unlike anything else in the discography. That is his best vocal performance.
Okay.
So
No Child.
What do you think?
I think musically good, message-wise, really good.
Yeah.
So I don't know where to put it. So
really good or GOAT?
You think really good or GOAT?
Yeah, I think at least good, like if not really good.
Okay.
I think also in my mind I associate Snow Child a lot with that music video, in which it was like all anime and going through his past eras, which I thought was really sick. So yeah.
Okay, I can put it really good. Escape from LA.
Huh?
Escape from LA.
Ooh. I don't know why, but Escape from LA grew on me last semester. But I remember the first time listening to it, I was like, I think this is kind of vulgar and stupid. But now I get it.
I put it really good.
Yeah.
Heartless.
Hype, a little overplayed, but definitely hype.
Okay, where are we putting it?
What do you think?
I think really good.
Okay.
I think it was the intro to this new sound. And I feel like I still enjoy it a decent bit. So I put it really good.
Metro!
Faith?
Goat. Yeah, no, Faith. Undeniably goated. I take half a cent and I still stay up.
Blinding Lights. Hot take, I don't like it. It's not that I don't like it. I liked it at first, and then I got tired
Then
of
it
that
got
shit.
overplayed as
fuck. They ruined it. And everybody's like, Blinding Lights is his best song. Cap. It's so cap.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's like, it is unfortunately one of those really good and creative songs in the moment that got ruined by how popular it got.
It's at the bottom of good.
It's also interesting that, like, it served as a gateway to the Weeknd for a lot of people, and like without Blinding Lights, he probably wouldn't be as big. So I think it has merit for that at least.
Sure. Okay. I'll put it in good.
At the bottom of good though.
Yeah. In Your Eyes.
Okay.
Really good.
In Your Eyes is really good. Specifically The Virgin featuring Kenny G. That sax solo goes nuts.
Save Your Tears. I'll say good.
Okay, yeah, it's good but overplayed.
Repeat After Me interlude.
I've actually kind of fucked with that more and more recently.
I'll put in good. I don't really remember. After Hours, go.
Easy.
After Hours,
easy.
go.
After Hours, go. And dude, the After Hours Till I Bleed Out combo.
Until I Bleed Out, I'm putting it really good.
Yeah.
Nothing Compares, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know have you heard it?
Yeah.
Okay, Nothing Compares is really good. Missed You, is really good. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
that has been hitting hard. Like, just like me and my friend like just like drive like Marlon and I have been driving late night just listening to like just The Weeknd and like I don't know, it's just like just the way it sounds. It's so like, Final Lullaby. Mid. Don FM.
Don FM.
My favorite album of all time. Do I think that it is necessarily the greatest album of all time
from an objective quality,
standpoint? No. However, for me personally, my favorite album.
It's good. It was my most listened to last year, and still holds like a very special place. I've listened to this album front to back so many times. But yeah, let's get into it.
All right, real quick. Just try to bang it out. First things first, Tale of Quincy, Phantom Regret, and like the intro track.
Goat?
Okay.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. All of those songs, in my mind, are what set Don FM apart as an album.
Sure.
Even though they're not like listenable songs. I mean, like maybe not the intro track. Like the intro track is like, it's an intro track. It's filler. But Tale by Quincy and Phantom Regret, from a meaning standpoint, are so goated.
I will put Phantom Regret. I'll put Phantom Regret. I will put low battery. Anyway, all right, real quick. Tale of Quincy, I will put in good, in my opinion.
Fair enough. I think the Tale of Quincy into Out of Time transition, though, it's just
I will put. Where's Phantom Regret? Phantom Regret. We can put it really good.
Okay.
I'm done ordering these within tiers.
Just start putting this shit up there.
Okay. Starry Eyes has grown on me. I will put it in good. Okay, I renege what I just said. I'll put it near the top of good.
I think, like, for me, so, like, quick context for the audience, Don FM structured like a radio station, which isn't a unique thing to this album, but still he does it well. You got Jim Carrey voicing the narrator. He's great. Like, Jim Carrey is so good in the role. And where After Hours is Regret, Don FM is redemption, revival, rejuvenation, like going through the darkness and into the light and finding the light. So I think the pinnacle of, that self-reflection and that working on yourself, and Phantom Regret encapsulates that. But yeah, starting from the top, Don FM. I also, like, it's divided into chunks in my mind, like the first half and the back half, but, like, specifically, like, Don FM, Gasoline, what comes after Gasoline?
How do I make you love me?
No, How Do I Make You Love Me and
Sacrifice.
Take My Breath.
Take My Breath.
Are like one chunk. Sacrifice is kind of a standalone because it doesn't really, like, he also does a cool thing where he just transitions between these songs. Pretty smoothly. Then the next chunk is Tale by Quincy, Out of Time. Here we go again. Then the next chunk after that just goes seamlessly one after the other. Banger.
Alright, look. Best Friends and Is There Someone Else? Those cannot exist without each other.
Yeah, it's true.
And for me, together, those are in really good, if not maybe go.
Yeah, and they're also the heart of the album from a thematic standpoint. You go from a toxic song where he's like, I'm keeping women away, like, I can only fuck you as friends, like if you catch feelings, we're out of here. And yet, in the very next song, which is effectively the same song because of the transition, he's saying, like, he's expressing feelings of jealousy, love, and envy, and just, like, it just, is there someone else? Back when he was doing it, it was fine, Like, I have so many, like, best friends who I fuck, but when the roles reversed, all of a sudden he kind of gets it. So, I don't know.
Starry Eyes, I think, is, like, top of good. Out of Time, go.
Yeah. Wait, so take it from order, take it from the top again. We got Don FM in...
We have Don FM in solid.
Like, solid, yeah.
We have...
Gasoline.
We have not ranked Gasoline.
Good.
Gasoline, I can agree, isn't good. It's not my favorite.
How Do I Make You Love Me?
How Do I Make You Love Me?
Honestly, in my mind, is really good or goat. That song is.
I think it's really good.
Yeah, that song's a banger.
This game. Next we have Take My Breath. It's
The most okay song on the
again,
album.
it's hit like it's Blinding Lights Part 2.
Yeah.
Sacrifice, I think is really good.
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
What is after that? Tale of Quincy.
Tale of Quincy.
We have in
From like, as I mentioned, thematically goated.
we have in good right now.
Yeah, thematically goated. From a musical standpoint, it's just an interview of Quincy Jones set over music. So it's like it's not really musical, but you know, Out of Time goated. Then
Out of Time go. Here we go again.
musically goated. The chords in that song are so rich.
I think it's really good. It's not my favorite, but after that, Best Friends, and Is There Someone Else we put
really good.
We put in really good collectively.
Is there someone else in that? And then Starry Eyes comes after that. Then
Starry Eyes,
Every Angel is terrifying after that, right?
Yes. Okay. Starry Eyes is in top of good.
Mm-hmm.
Every Angel is terrifying. I put a mid.
Dang.
I don't.
Wow.
But it annoys me.
Okay, that's
I always
fair.
skip it.
That's fair.
But I can put it in solid.
Yeah, I think it's solid just because, like, I think it adds to the world building a little bit.
For
And also, like, the poem he's referencing is kind of a deep cut. Like, it's a Rilke poem. Like, and I don't know. It was just, like, I was so blown away that The Weeknd was referencing Rilke the first time I listened to the album. So, yeah, I don't know.
Next, after that is, I'm pretty sure Don't Break My Heart.
I love that song.
That might be, it might be go.
Yeah.
It might be go.
Yeah, it might be good.
Don't Break My Heart, I'm Falling Apart Already.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I Heard You're Married. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's like a fun listen.
Okay, here we go, bros. Here we go. Less Than Zero. Undeniably goat.
It's go.
It's go.
Less Than Zero.
Like probably even the goat of goat. Like I'd be willing to say that Less Than Zero might be probably top 3 Weeknd songs.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Phantom Regret
Yeah, we already put
has
it
gotten
in.
me through some dark times. So yeah.
Phantom Regret is
Probably really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And then there's Moth to Flame, which really quick I will just put in. We actually listened to that together. It's Midi B. We listened to that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I would put that in really. I'll put that top of good.
Yeah, when he released the.
No, I'll put that in really good.
Yeah, it's in really good. When he released that music video. That's it, right? In terms of Don FM.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay. Yeah.
Damn.
Give us a quick time check.
Way over.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh.
We're gonna.
Oh, I gotta run.
Yeah. No, I got it. Don't worry about it. You didn't hear this, but I'll figure it out. Set it. I'll fix this. Anyway.
Last things I want to say in terms of what he's been doing recently, dropping like collabs as we were saying, Idol, shit show, fire music.
Forget it.
Like yeah, it's just a terrible show and like carries absolutely no thematic weight compared to the rest of his discography. But I mean, Popular's he's a fun song, man. And yeah, and most recently he announced that he's no longer making music under the moniker The Weeknd. So there's a new chapter in his life and he's just going forward as Abel.
So yeah, that was our episode of the weekend, aka another 2-tier list, or not 2-tier list. Just, you know what to do.
You've been listening to 101.1 FM WOPPIPWDRVIPWALEIP Providence.
You guys can catch us at www.theoutapocketpodcast.com, and through there you can find links to our Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram.
Talk to us, please. We have a contact page.
Yeah, just hit us up.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. And just go listen to The Weeknd. We've already given you so much about why you need to listen to him. Yeah.
Catch you guys later. Take care.